Are you ready to witness the most radical plastic surgeries? Today, we'll show you 10 people who turned into plastic. Here you'll learn how these individuals decided to rid themselves of their human appearance and underwent dozens, even hundreds of surgical procedures such as rhinoplasties, implants, Botox and fillers to end up looking like plastic dolls. Let's see what's amazing. Stephanie Palomares. $500,000 is a fortune that most people dream of, unless you're this influencer and aspiring rapper who used such an amount of money to change her look. To date, she has had 3 breast augmentations, 5 butt lifts, a rhinoplasty for a finer nose, and her eyes underwent a procedure giving them a cat-like appearance. One might say she's already content with her physical appearance, but in her most extreme move, she wants to remove at least 2 things to have an hourglass shape. Villa surgery is one of the riskiest due to the possibility of exposing internal organs to impacts or suffering a deadly lung collapse. But Stephanie isn't afraid and claims that anything goes when it comes to improving her look, regardless of it being an illegal procedure in most countries. Maintaining her appearance is also not cheap, as she needs $9,000 monthly for Botox, lip fillers, and other aesthetic treatments that keep her looking like a plastic doll 24/7. Apart from removing her ribs, she plans to reduce her breast size to make her waist look smaller and her buttocks appear larger. She also plans to undergo a body lift after having children to eliminate pregnancy-induced marks. Our next person to show will blow your mind. Jessica Alves, from non-human to human Barbie. Would you have plastic surgery? Our next show had no doubt. This is the story of how the Brazilian underwent almost 100 surgeries that left him unrecognizable. Born with the name Rodrigo Alves, he became obsessed with the famous blonde doll from a young age and dreamed of looking like her companion. Thanks to his family's fortune, at 19, he had his first rhinoplasty and never looked back. Since then, he underwent dozens of cosmetic surgeries, including 10 more nose surgeries that damaged his sense of smell. He received hair implants, a brow and eye lift, trimmed the sides of his lips for a wider smile, and injected filler into his shoulders, biceps, triceps, and abs to emulate the appearance of sculpted muscles. The obsession with being a plastic doll led him to seek increasingly dangerous treatments such as a Brazilian butt lift, pectoral implants, liposuction on his chin, and monthly Botox injections. When it seemed impossible to have more surgeries, he announced that he would now identify as a woman named Jessica and spent over $100,000 to become the human Barbie. Among the procedures to achieve his feminine appearance are breast implants, chin and Adam's apple reduction, lip filler, liposuction, and titanium facial implants. Pixie Fox. If there were a world record for the most plastic surgeries, this 33-year-old Swede and her over 200 procedures would likely take the top spot. Before embarking on her multiple trips to the operating room, she was an electrician with a completely normal look. Until the day she decided to transform into a real-life cartoon character. Inspired by the appearance of Jessica Rabbit, she made her curves more pronounced through a waist reduction in which 6 things were removed. This surgery is one of the most dangerous, and in fact, she had to travel to Turkey because in Sweden, no surgeon dared to perform an intervention that could cost her life. Pixie completed the cartoon look with a rhinoplasty, breast augmentation, Botox, lip and cheek fillers, changed the shape of her jaw, and modified the color of her eyes with a procedure only done in India. The model confessed that she feels like a human experiment because she wants to show everyone the evolution of her natural body, turning it into her own fairy tale. After so many surgeries, medical complications began affecting her life, causing her to disappear from social media. She finally reappeared and explained that her obsession almost killed her, as one procedure caused brain damage and required several months of recovery. Patrick Mast. This German claims to be a man in every sense, even though he completely changed his appearance to gain a feminine look. Since he was 14, he began modifying his appearance with hair extensions and makeup. But it was in adulthood that he underwent his most radical change. 5 different interventions completed in a single trip to the operating room. The process that cost him $73,000 consisted of a facelift, cat-eye lift, upper and lower blepharoplasty, and a second lip lift, all to achieve his coveted plastic doll appearance. Patrick needed almost a year to recover from so many surgeries done at once. But now he proudly claims to feel proud of the result because he wants people to recognize him as someone who underwent countless surgeries, similar to how celebrities like Michael Jackson are remembered. His other body modifications include forehead Botox and lip and cheek fillers. He also claims that he hasn't achieved his goal yet and is exploring various options for a second rhinoplasty and an alternative to the Brazilian butt lift. Because this procedure, which involves extracting body fat to inject into the buttocks and increase their volume, seems somewhat dangerous to him. Ollie London, born as Caucasian in England, his fascination with Korean culture and music led him to move to the distant Asian country to live like one of them, until he noticed that they discriminated against him for his very different appearance. Obsessed with being Korean, he began a long journey to achieve the look of an Asian person with nothing less than 32 plastic surgeries, costing him $300,000. Considering that many of these procedures are prohibited in Europe and the United States, he went to surgeons in China, Armenia, and Turkey, where there are fewer restrictions on interventions. These included injections to whiten the skin and look like BTS singer Jimmy. Then, he was injected with a substance that burns abdominal fat and regularly underwent filler and Botox treatments. His most expensive operation was a total makeover of $70,000, which involved modifying his jaw, chin, eyelids, and cheekbones to achieve the desired Asian look. And he completed it with 5 rhinoplasties on his nose. Yet to mention the strangest part. Ollie considers himself a transracial person because he was born in the body of an Englishman, but actually identifies as Korean. Of course, his claims produced negative reactions from people accusing him of fetishizing Korean culture, and he even received death threats for his obsession with the Asian nation. Although he still identifies as Korean, he claims to regret so many surgeries because he now has a painful, stuck jaw and facial muscle movement paralysis, preventing him from expressing himself like other people. Plastic is fantastic. This is the phrase used by The New Yorker to refer to her look as she aspires to transform into a human Barbie. The obsession with modifying her appearance caused her to spend over $170,000 on surgeries. And indeed, when she's not preparing for her next intervention, she's planning her trip to the operating room. Essentially, that means Lena's life is a life of surgery, revolving around body modifications, leaving her little time to spend with her son. This 33-year-old woman's surgical adventure began when she underwent a rhinoplasty, and she liked the results so much that over the years, she completed 11 major plastic surgeries and over 500 minor interventions to completely transform her body and achieve the look of her beloved plastic doll. However, her son expresses that while he supports her decision, he also worries that medical complications suffered over the years might cost her life. Dolly Daisy Simpson. It's time to meet the twins who have so far spent $194,000 on surgeries in an attempt to increase their resemblance to each other to look like plastic dolls in the style of Barbie. The first surgical adventure of the English twins happened when they were 18, and they injected filler into their lips and cheeks. 3 years later, they are completely unrecognizable as the blonde pair underwent a long list of interventions, including rhinoplasties, same-sized breast implants for both, a Brazilian butt lift, filler in their chins and jaws, veneers on their teeth, and Botox injections every 4 months to maintain smooth, wrinkle-free skin. Dolly stated that before starting to operate, they felt very insecure about their appearance and wanted to look like blonde girls with a bright tan, big breasts, and an overall look similar to that of a doll. As soon as they reached the legal age, they embarked on their journey to achieve the Barbie-inspired look, Bratz dolls, and Playboy bunnies from the 2000s. Since then, the twins have undergone the same surgical procedures to continue looking the same, and they claim that they still have a lot of work to do. Natasha Crown. The Swedish model has one purpose in her life: to obtain the world record for the largest buttocks. To achieve her goal, she gains 20 kilos by binging on Nutella and pizza so that her body generates enough fat, which is then extracted and injected into her buttocks through the process known as a Brazilian butt lift. After scenes of gained weight and 5 surgeries later, her buttocks reached the absurd circumference of 203 centimeters. However, Natasha is not satisfied and plans to continue increasing its size as much as possible. During a TV interview, she confessed that the bigger, the better, and she doesn't want to go back to being thin because her buttocks are from another dimension. She even expressed that her size and weight broke chairs and beds as if they were paper. The model adds that in Sweden, the beauty standard indicates that the thinner, the prettier. But she wants to change that idea since she feels that her figure is how real women should look. Not everything is good news, since Natasha admits that her extra giant buttocks intimidate men. Pinio. Since he was a child, this Los Angeles resident has always felt marked or like an alien who didn't fit in among Earthlings. That's why, starting at 17, he underwent countless surgical procedures to rid himself of his human appearance and become what he called a genderless extraterrestrial. For now, his extensive list of surgeries includes 5 facial peels, 20 facial cryo-freezes, 12 cheek fillers, 5 Botox sessions, 12 eyebrow fillers, 35 facial and body laser treatments, 15 lip fillers, 5 nose jobs, and multiple filler sessions. Gradually, Vinny gains the appearance of an alien similar to those seen in science fiction movies because he wants his exterior to reflecting what he truly feels inside. This young man confesses that his appearance is not yet ready. So, he plans to undergo even more radical surgeries, such as a 6th rhinoplasty, cheek and jaw implants. He will remove his belly button and nipples, modify the contours of his eyelids, and realign his forehead. Angel Bimbo, the self-proclaimed doll, revealed spending $100,000 on plastic surgeries and plans to apply filler to her lips until they explode. Before her scandalous transformation, she lived in Mexico her entire life until she decided to move to Miami with the goal of becoming an inflatable, flesh and bone doll. Angel recalls growing up watching surgery shows on TV and thought they were so cool that she set a goal to undergo as many surgical interventions as possible. So far, she has operated on her hairline, nose, chin, had liposuction, buttock and calf implants, and added filler everywhere. She claims to have 23 cubic centimeters of hyaluronic acid substance in her lips alone. Maintaining her appearance is a costly full-time job, as she needs at least $1,500 per month to keep her plastic doll appearance and claim the record for the largest lips in all of Florida. Finally, Angel adds that her ultimate goal with plastic surgery is to keep growing more and more, regardless of the fact that the excess filler in her lips could explode and cause life-threatening health complications. In today's video, you learned that the obsession with being someone different led these people to undergo surgeries that left them unrecognizable compared to their natural appearance. At the same time, you witnessed how many interventions could cause serious health problems with the potential to cost them their lives. Now tell me, would you undergo any surgery? Thank you for joining us on this journey.